Welcome to Seltzer Squad, the podcast about staying sober in the city, with your hosts, Kate Zander and Jes Valentine.
Hey, Kate, what's another way that the squad can help support the podcast?
In addition to just listening or signing up to our Patreon, y'all can shop our online merch store, which has a variety of different sober treats, from mugs to sweatshirts to tanks and tees.
Everything.
All of our signature sayings are all over our sober merch. So visit seltzersquadshop.com and check it out.
Treat yourself to something sober while supporting the pod.
Jess, what's our number one piece of advice when people are getting sober?
Therapy.
So much therapy that I'm going to school to be a giver of therapy.
This is true.
BetterHelp reached out to partner with us at the Seltzer Squad to offer 10% off a monthly membership to BetterHelp.com.
What is BetterHelp.com?
BetterHelp is an online therapy platform that is for individuals, for couples. You take a short quiz, you get matched up with a mental health professional, and you, through the app, are able to video, or you can just message back and forth with a licensed professional to give you counseling and guidance on anything and everything that you're going through.
So how do our listeners use our code?
You just go to betterhelp.com/Seltzer Squad and you'll receive 10% off your first month. Hello, Jessica.
Hello, Katie. How are you?
It's that time again, my friend.
Oh, yes, it is. Hot Mess Hoedown.
Inbox full of messes.
And how perfect, because we were recording and I texted Kate, I think I sharded myself. I need to,
I have a person that we interviewed who gave their hot mess story, and it was regarding shitting, and she still texts me about it.
What?
Mm-hmm. Like,
is it Jay?
No, it's somebody else. Oh, yes, okay. Actually. And literally she texts me, I almost sharded and I thought of you the other day. I'm like, we take up a weird space in people's heads. So, yeah.
Yes, we really do. Okay, are you starting with Wondercore?
Yes.
Okay.
So I did scan this one, so I'm just going to give you guys a trigger warning that this one's graphic, but it's really funny. Okay. Hot mess story. I just started dating this guy. One night we went out for drinks. I got plastered and we went back to his place. We were having sex on his couch and I was straddling him. It was the first time we'd slept together. Now this guy has a great dick, so much that I tried to squirt with him in me, which I'd been able to do before. Knowing the feeling of squirting is almost like the feeling of peeing, with a mental approach of letting go. Good tip. I decided to push out harder from my vaginal muscles. Suddenly he stopped. Turns out that I shat on his balls. All of my pushing led to a big release from my butt. He was grossed out and I was mortified. We took turns going to the bathroom to clean up. When I went, I tried to quietly take a shit to clear everything out, but I ended up clogging his toilet. I removed the lid and tried to secretly jiggle the levers inside to flush it. I knew that if I used a plunger, it'd be too loud and I'd make this whole event even more obvious and embarrassing. Without fixing the toilet, I put the lid back on, cleaned myself up a bit, and darted out of there, leaving him with a clogged toilet and shitty balls. Needless to say, we never saw each other again, and there were 7 more years of hot mess stories until I finally decided to quit the drink for real.
Oh my God.
I don't even have like a response. This might replace the succulent for me.
Oh man,
eater.
That's intense.
I don't have a response. I really don't have anything to say, but that's
like checkmate. Like, okay. All right, I'm going to read N, the next one. Okay. All right. Hot mess. Oh, there's a couple different hot mess stories. Let's do. Okay. Hot mess story 1. Being so drunk, I tried skateboarding, fell off, and took the entire force onto my elbow and the back of my head, thus fracturing my elbow and getting concussion. However, I realized neither of these things. Proceeded to a party at a warehouse.
No, is this a sad one?
While half passing out on a sofa all night, my friends thought it would help me to give me NOS balloons to keep me awake on top of the booze. What's a NOS balloon?
That's like
Whip it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The sobering moment was in the was in A&E the next day when the nurse ran through asking everything I had consumed, and it was a long booze, yes, drugs, yes. Well, that wasn't very funny now, was it?
Fuck, N. I'm glad you're still with us, sending us
Yeah.
these messages, but Jesus. That's like my
All
worst
right.
fear, honestly, is like something really bad happening while somebody's getting a concussion and
Yeah.
like passing out and dying in their sleep. Oh God.
All right. So
Do you want me to
she sent
read?
one more. She sent one more. So I'll just say it.
And this is
Let's
your
call
chance
it.
to redeem yourself.
Yeah. Okay. I was on a day 2 of the weekend binge, and I'd gone to a house party with a couple of friends, doing lines and drinks, etc. This was followed by a trip to a guy for replenishment in a squatted warehouse. The door was answered by a friendly neighborhood crackhead who, instead of showing us up to the drugs guy, took us to the top floor of the warehouse. He proceeded to speak at length about how he was schizophrenic and his only outlet was art, which he
Uh-oh.
created using oil paint and his cat's hair.
Oh,
Okay.
innovative.
I found this to be super fascinating. After an hour of this, we replenished our stocks from the main guy and then proceeded to hang out and get more wasted with him. The crack guy then went mental, starting to brandish an axe, and I, in my drunken high state, went over to him and tried to mediate. My friends
I
managed
read
to
that
get
as
me out.
meditate, and I was like, this is getting weirder.
So did I. That's why I stumbled. My friends managed to get me out of there before serious injury, and I went home, did more lines, stayed up, and went to the airport to get a flight to Moscow to work. I also somehow forgot to clean my phone and my phone case, which had a hefty dusting. Needless to say, I got fired from the job in Moscow. Flew home, realized how much drug residue I had on me, and
then meditated.
meditated on how quickly I was not to be in a Russian.
How lucky she was
prison.
not to be in a Russian prison.
Yes, how
Fuck.
lucky. Yes, girl.
That is
Girl.
wild. That's like a True Detective episode.
Yeah, that's yes. It sounds like fake almost. That it's so crazy.
Yeah, international. I mean, shit. Like a Russian dude, schizophrenic dude with an axe sounds next level. I would have sobered up
Terrifying.
quick.
Terrifying.
All
Okay.
right. Okay, I'm gonna read.
Are you reading nerd?
Yes.
Okay.
To set the scene, this was a few years ago when I was recently divorced mother of 3, and I had a day without the kids. Uh-oh. Party time, right? I was dating a patient man who is now my husband. We had gone out to a popular bar in our small beach town with tons of people we knew. I think it was somebody's birthday. I was drinking vodka and sugar-free Red Bull. It was later told to me how much I emphasized the sugar-free as I was throwing them back. Because calories matter when you're getting hammered. My then boyfriend and I had a few mutual friends. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Okay. My then boyfriend and I had a few mutual friends, and he was actually good friends with the sister of the guy that I went to high school with. This guy and I were good friends back in high school, but nothing ever happened to us, nor did I want it to, then or ever. We never had connected on Facebook, so when he walked in the bar, I was excited to see him, and in my vodka and sugar-free Red Bull state proceeded to hang all over him, which was later described to me. Oh no. I am very outgoing, very friendly drunk, so I can see how it would have been perceived as that, but I wasn't to the point of blacked out yet, so I know it was innocent. Anyway, there were shots being passed around, and before I knew it, all things went black. Next, oh no. When I woke up, I was informed that I went to the bathroom and sat down on the toilet seat and passed out. Nobody knew where I had gone, and my boyfriend and many others had been searching for me for frantically 30 minutes before somebody found me in the bathroom stall. Side note, weird they didn't go there first, but okay. I was carried, drug out, and woke up oblivious to it all. To make matters worse, my friend from high school had been texting my boyfriend after we left the bar about how I must have been so into him. Gross. I'm glad we weren't friends as adults because obviously he's a sleazebag. I couldn't help but be mortified by all of this. This was in front of 20 of our friends and family. Then for my boyfriend to have to deal with the douchebag ex-friend being disrespectful was the twist in the shame knife. I think the worst part about it looking back is that I decided that it was my rock bottom moment and that I should make a change. I was reassured by friends and family I didn't have a problem, and those things kind of happen to everyone. Can we say enablers? As I continued to be a hot mess for a few years before reevaluating my relationship with alcohol. I'm so glad I reached within myself to make a change because those kinds of things shouldn't happen to everybody. That's like a very good cautionary tale. I also can very much relate to this, that I think I would be like, once I got super drunk, I would be super friendly and
Mhm.
like maybe without meaning, like seeming like I was into somebody, and like we all know that shame story. So I can very much relate to this, and it's like some fucking weirdo dude could totally capitalize on the situation.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like unfortunately this is like a hot mess that happens a lot. Like it's not a funny one, but I feel like this is like it's happened to you for sure, you know, where like you're just like drunk and being bubbly and fun, and then all of a sudden like somebody, you know, preys upon that and shit could get like, thankfully like you had friends and
all the
family
time.
looking for you, or like things could have gotten scary and dark very fast. So I feel like it's
Yes.
a cautionary hot mess story.
Yeah, not like a funny one.
Mm.
I skipped one. I'm reading S.
Okay.
All right.
Bring us back up, Jess.
I'm trying to
Okay.
because it said I am also a former bed peer, but
All
my
right.
disgusting story doesn't involve pee or poop. In fact, my embarrassing story involves a different bodily fluid and not my own.
Ooh.
All right, here we go. I went to a small college and did the classic normalized drinking. On the weekends, I'd go to a party with my friends and stumble back to our dorms. Also, need to make note that dip/chewing tobacco was a huge culture at my school. All the guys did it constantly. Gross. I fucking hate that. Back to my story, because I know where this is going.
Oh God.
Oftentimes, I might gag. Oftentimes, I might gag. Oftentimes, like many fellow drunks before me, I'd be hungry and 30. I think she means thirsty. Because
flirty.
everyone knows if you eat and drink a Gatorade before bed, you won't get a hangover. Duh.
But you
it's
will
science.
pee. You will pee.
On one of these evenings, when we got back to the dorm, we ran into some acquaintances who were watching TV. I proceeded to steal their snacks
Oh.
and their Gatorade.
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, I know where this is going to. This would have been fine, except it was not Gatorade that I was stealing. No. What I had. Hang on.
Do you want me to finish? No,
Yeah, I can't
what
read
I had
this.
drank was someone else's used spit cup. Oh God, I didn't even notice. I had to be told after I'd already finished it. No, poor Jess. Mind you, during this entire encounter, I was being warned, girl, what are you doing? Don't drink that. That's someone's spit. To this day, I dry heave when thinking about it, and it's been 10 years. Yeah, relatable. If this wasn't enough, I did this several more times before I graduated, to the point of where everyone at my small college knew not to leave dip bottles anywhere within my reach because I would black out and drink them.
Oh my God.
That's even like more weirder and twistier in COVID times.
I hate it so much. Cameron, she dated this girl in college, and they were in the car, and she grabbed her Coke bottle thinking, and it was her. I can't even. It was her dip. It was her dip.
Oh.
I can't.
That one might take like the cake for the grossest, and we've heard a lot of like shit ones.
I can take pee. I can take poo. I can take puke. I cannot take. I can't take spit or loogies. That is my kryptonite.
Oh.
As soon as I thank you, Kate, for taking that one over. I'm sure Nat probably cut it out, but I was 100% gagging.
No, leave it in. It's authentic.
Do we? It is authentic. Hey, Kate. So someone in our Facebook group made a joke saying that you never finish books. So I'm just curious, have you finished any books lately?
So I believe the last Audible ad was talking about Blackout, and no, I haven't finished that one. I often don't finish books, but I don't feel bad because I'm just listening. I'm currently listening to a book on emotional childhood neglect called Running on Empty, and if you guys sign up to audibletrial.com/Seltzer Squad, you can get your first month for free and listen to books haphazardly like we do.
The best part about listening to a book on Audible is it's kind of like a podcast. You can drop it at any time and pick it up anytime. So definitely use our promo code and get your first month free. Do
Woof.
we
Okay,
do
I'm
we
gonna
read any
read.
more?
I'm gonna read MMM.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
Okay. It was 1998. Ooh. I was a senior in college, and my friends and I were going to a New Year's Eve party that was put on by our university. During the pre-event party, I proceeded to drink copious amounts of white and red wine and got so drunk that I hit on the female host and told her I had never kissed a girl, and if I did, she'd be the one. I'm a hetero female, in parentheses.
Of course.
If that wasn't bad enough, I proceeded to spill my entire glass of red wine all over her oriental rug. Did I go back to my apartment then? No, I did not. I went to the New Year's Eve party where not just students were gathered, but also a bunch of our professors were as well. I was so excited that I saw my anthropology professor. I ran up to him and started telling him that I had watched a documentary on how aliens built the pyramids, as if that were a legitimate topic of debate. All I remember is him giving me a look of disbelief and how quickly he turned away and pretended not to notice my wastedness. After that, I was blackout drunk because I woke up in the backseat of my friend's car and I realized they must have put me in there because I was so drunk I was making a fool of myself. Needless to say, it was one of my most cringe stories every time I think about it. So embarrassing.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like that's hard because then you have to like go back and see that person and like just carry that every single time.
Oh yeah,
like,
we've all done that. I've done
every
that.
time you see that person, they know, you know?
They know.
And also just like the conviction that you must have had, you know? That one was mellow. I like that we ended after the spit on the mellow.
I'm going to read one more, I think.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's been that long, right?
No, I think we need another one.
Okay. This one's a poop story.
So, from which one? From who? Kay?
So we've had from M and then G. Okay. We've had a cautionary tale. We've had a relatable tale. We've had a
scary
disgusting tale. Like, all right. If you use this in all caps, please do not use my name. All right, don't worry. A couple of years ago, my husband and I flew out to Michigan, where I grew up, for my mom's wedding. As you well know, flying is a great way for alcoholics to justify day drinking. This is true. So we started out drinking around 9 a.m. before calling a Lyft to take us to the airport. Wait, what? Wait, before going to the airport?
I mean, yeah, live it up, lady.
Oh, I've never done that. Okay.
I did that once.
We had a few glasses of wine at the airport and whiskey on the plane before landing in Michigan. And we had been there for all 30 minutes before meeting up with my family. No, I'm sorry, with my old high school friends for drinks at a local brewery. They're getting just turned. An unknown number of pictures later, we go back to my friend's house and keep the party going. This friend happens to have DMT.
Wait, what's
my
that?
My husband, DMT. Yeah. It's a drug, and I don't know much about it. I had a friend who always was trying to get me to do it. Apparently, it's like dopamine. So it's like a very, very short, very quick high, like euphoric.
It's a hallucinogenic.
Yeah, it's very quick. I don't think it lasts long.
Is it like Joe Rogan vibes?
I don't know anything about him. Yeah. But DMT. My husband and I have never tried it, so we obviously want some. My friend pulls out a crack pipe because this is true. My friend tried. My friend. This is not the story. This is me. My friend tried getting to me, and he's like, "Had it in a crack pipe." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm good on that. Thank you very much." Drawing the line there. Yeah. He's like, "The whole place smells when you do it." It's like, yeah, I feel like that's crack. Okay. He pulls out a crack pipe and explains that this is the best way to smoke it. DMT trips are pretty short. So after about 30 minutes, I start coming back to reality and decide to check my phone. I'm surprised to see that it is 5 a.m. Oh my God. Now,
I'm stuck on your... No, that's crack. And I can very visibly imagine you doing that. No way, that's crack.
This is after I'm sober too. Like... whatever.
All right.
I love them. But,
it's 5 a.m. I'm back.
In retrospect, it probably would have been a good idea to stay the night at my friend's house, but instead my husband and I walked back to my mom's house a few blocks away. Mind you, it was pouring rain. We showed up drenched and wasted as my mom and her soon-to-be wife drank their morning coffee. I immediately went straight to the basement bedroom that we were staying in and passed out. Unbeknownst to me, my husband stayed up and told them all about the DMT. Lovely. Oh my God. The next morning I wake up, step out of the room and see a cooler on the floor with poop and pee in it. Oh. My first thought is, why does my mom keep a cooler of shit and pee in her basement? Why would she do that? Then it dawns on me that either me or my husband must have pooped in the middle of the night. Horrified, I close the cooler, put it on a shelf, and slowly walk upstairs to assess the situation. To my delight, my mom left a note saying she went on a walk. Perfect. There is time to hide the evidence. I run back downstairs to wake up my husband. He proceeds to put his hand down the back of his pants, touch his butthole, and inspect his finger. Since he didn't see any poop residue, his conclusion that it must have been me. I was pretty offended that he would even suggest that, but there was no time to argue. We needed to get rid of this cooler. This is so good. In a panic, we take the cooler to the backyard and dump out the contents. While we were back there, my mom gets home. So we quickly throw the cooler over the fence into the neighbor's yard so she can't see what we're doing. Trying to play it cool, I asked her how her walk was. Without flinching, she asked what we did with the booth cooler. I was so mortified that my sweet mother knew what we had done. Luckily, she has a good sense of humor. This did not get me sober, and to this day, I have no idea if it was me or my husband that pooped in the cooler. However, I now have 10 months and no longer wake up full of shame and regret. That one was so
I kind
good.
of like find it really endearing that the husband's like down for the like the random problem solving. Like, put it on the shelf, throw it over the fence.
Like, so
Touches
good.
his asshole. Wasn't me, you know.
That is so funny. That one was great.
That was great. Ended on a
I
high
really
note.
enjoyed that one.
Yeah. Don't smoke
More
crack,
like that,
friends.
please.
Fuck.
It's DMT.
Don't smoke anything out of a crack pipe. Don't smoke.
Yeah.
From me to you, to all
Don't
of
smoke,
you. Don't
yeah.
smoke. But wow, that was a good one. Thanks, MG. Do
That
not
was
use
so
my
good.
name. I get it.
But she gave a lot of information,
Yes.
like personal information.
And your mom
So-
sounds nice.
Oh my God, your mom sounds hilarious. And thank God, like, oh, that is so funny. I don't
That
think
is
I've
really
ever
funny.
pooped in a weird place.
I did
I'm
when I
trying
was
to
like
think.
little, but not in a drunk way.
No, but
to
I
my
mean, like,
knowledge.
drunken. No, I peed in a crock pot, but that's like not that serious. At work,
Oh, all right. Well, until we meet again,
be nice to yourself.
don't forget
Hangovers
hangovers
suck.
suck.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. Every review helps other listeners find us. Music by Dead Go West. Art by Kate Sander. For show notes and resources, check out seltzersquad.com.